Howdy everyone, this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to put together this bird bath. Okay, so let's talk about the supplies that we're going to be needing, and I'm going to go ahead and get started on my bird bath. I do want to say that initially I wanted to give myself a Dollar Tree challenge to create my bird bath, and I went super early to my Dollar Tree and I grabbed a few items. Unfortunately, quite a few people started walking in and I got a little nervous with so many people being in there, so I just went to the register and got out. I went next door to my Hobby Lobby. There was very few people in there, so I just grabbed some items and that was it. Got out of there. So let me show you what I got. Now you can get your items from somewhere around your home. You can look around, see what you have that maybe you can reuse and recycle. Maybe you got something from the thrift store, or maybe you order some items online. Okay, so I have this bowl here. This is from their spring collection, these items that I'm going to show you, and they were half off. Okay, so I got this bowl and I really wanted something that wasn't so deep. This is all I could find because I really wanted it also to be really wide, but I felt that it was a little deep. So you want to look for something that's maybe 2 inches, maybe 3 inches, maybe at the most, you know, in depth. But I found something that I feel I can fix my problem. The problem that I have with it being so deep is I don't know if I would maybe cause some endangerment to some birds of making something so deep with so much water. Of course, I'm not going to put as much water in there, and also when you have a more shallow bowl, you'll tend to fill it up more often, and they'll have fresh water that way. But the depth, to me, it concerns me personally. I don't know if it is an issue really, but I don't want little birds to go in there, maybe possibly drown in the water if it's too deep. So I didn't want to get something too deep. That's my concern over the depth. But that's me personally. So you choose what you feel comfortable with. This is the bowl that I chose. This was a $10 bowl. I got it half off. It's from their spring collection, so I got it for $5. Now I wanted to create some sort of a pedestal. You can use a candle holder if you happen to have something in your home, something sturdy that you can recycle for this, or if you have like a plaster pedestal, you can use that as well, or even a vase. Now I found this little metal container. It was a $7 container. I got it for $3.50. I like it, and I like the black. I felt that it went really well with this. I don't want to change the color at all whatsoever. Of course, if you want to change colors on your items, get yourself a spray paint that is safe to use on your materials. Now, I will say, try not to spray the inside of your bowl or paint the inside of your bowl because you don't want it to be toxic for the water. Okay, now these two other items are not necessary. You basically just need some sort of a pedestal and some sort of a bowl to create a bird bath. This is basically all you need. I went a little bit extra and I got this little plate, which is from the same collection. This was a $3 plate, which I got for $1.49. I think it's really pretty, and I'm going to use that as a base to hold this. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to put some rocks in here to weigh it down. Now, I could just have it like this and then seal it with the bowl, you know, seal the opening with the bowl, but I like how it tapers smaller as it goes up, so I was going to use it upside down, and in order to put rocks in there I needed something to seal this, so I felt that little plate would work for that, and it fits in there just perfectly. So you might want to look around for something like that if you have the situation that I'm having where you want it to taper this way. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. It's going to be super easy. I'm already showing you how I'm going to put it together. Okay, so because of the depth, I grabbed this little tin. It's like a little bucket, a little pail, and this was $3.99. I got it for $2, and I thought this would be great to put in here. And I thought, well, I'm going to clip these little handles off and put it in there, and then I can just have like a little perch here where they can also perch up on here and then maybe sip the water. But then I thought, you know what if I just put it facing upward and not bother having to cut these little handles? So I'm going to put it in there, and then I'm going to show you why I'm going to do all that. And you guys, I've got bags and bags of these little white rocks. I got 6 bags. I don't know why I got so many, but I felt like I was going to somehow use it because I also want to put some inside. So I grabbed a bunch, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. I also grabbed this bag of faux moss stones. These are all from the Dollar Tree, by the way. The bag of stones and the white pebbles and this faux moss stones. They're from the Dollar Tree. I want to decorate it because, like I said, I want to put something in here, and I feel like I didn't want to put something that would take up too much room in it because I want the birds to have something to perch on, and I feel like the little handles would also work for them to perch on. Now I've got this little cup here with this little, it's just a faux succulent, and I created this for a craft some time ago. Wanted to show you how you could just take anything and make a little faux planter. But I'm going to take this out, so I'm going to recycle this, and I'm going to use this inside of here. So that's going to be my little succulent. But you can use an actual real plant, or even something that maybe the birds can actually feed off of, which would be great. Or I would maybe put some bird seed in there. Now keep in mind, they're going to make a mess with the water. Okay, to put this all together, I'm going to be using some E6000 glue. I'm also going to be using my hot glue gun. And then I'm going to see if there's a way that I can decorate this with the white stones besides putting them in there or inside of this container. So let's get to crafting. Okay, so I want to start out by decorating this part somehow. I do like it black, but I do want to give it some sort of decor, just so that when you see it from far away, you see something besides just a black pedestal. Now, make sure you plug in your glue gun, because I didn't. I just plugged it in, so I'm waiting for it to get hot. But I decided that I want to put these little white stones, and I kind of want to put them kind of like going like in a spiral on here, or I could do some stripes going downward. I thought about covering the whole thing with pebbles, but you guys, I don't want to be here all afternoon. So I'm just going to do like a little spiral. And in order to keep myself at a good pace here with the pattern, I'm going to use a little bit of masking tape. And just start off somewhere and create a maybe like a pattern where I can kind of follow. I'm not going to worry about the tape being straight, I mean, you know, like wrinkling up or not. I just want to follow around a little bit like that. I kind of want this to be the front. All right, let's see if I can remember that. Put some more around. I think that'll be good. You can create like a mosaic if you want to use little tile squares, little mosaic tile squares. Okay, there we go. Maybe get like an old, like a floral plate or something that has a pattern on it. Break it and then use that little bits to decorate this. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and put some of these stones. And I want to use my glue gun, and I think it's actually ready. Let's see. Yep. I want to use a combination of my E6000 and my glue gun because I want to make sure that everything sticks. So let me go ahead and put a dot of glue. And then I'm going to make a little puddle with the E6000 right here and pick some of that up with a stone. And then use the hot glue that's on here to actually stick it. And I think I need a little bit more. And I want to make sure also that I don't stick it on the masking tape, which I'm kind of doing here. So I'm going to move it over a bit. So I got my first stone on there. Let me put this out of the way so I don't put my glue gun on it. Got my first stone on there. So I'm just going to work my way, putting stones going downward. And also make sure that you don't put your first stone like higher than the level of the top of it, because then when you put your bowl, we'll just pretend this is the bowl. When you put your bowl on here, you want to be able for this to lay flat because it's a very thin little rim here. It's not going to have like, it's not going to be sticking here. Well, I'm going to put glue in there just to see if it'll stick in there, but you know, we want it to for there not to be anything protruding up higher than the edge of this. Okay. Let's keep going here and get a smaller one. Grab some of this E6000 glue and then put a little dot of the hot glue. I'm actually just going to start removing the tape as I go along. I don't necessarily want to be like follow like a straight line. I just want the idea of where to go as I'm doing my pebbles on there. Okay. what I think I'm going to do is, because I'm sort of kind of going like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place for some stones to follow, to do my pattern, and then I'll just remove the masking tape, and then I can go on either side of the line that I made with my pebbles, and then that'll help me fill it in where I feel like, you know, it needs a little extra stone. Okay, and then also wait for this webs of hot glue to dry before you attempt pulling them off. Okay, I'm going to be back. I'm actually going to put down a little silicone pad on here so I don't get any glue on my craft table. And then we'll have also done my line of pebbles all the way around, and then I'll come back so you can see me filling it in a little bit without the masking tape on there. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. As you can see right here, I've got a little spiral going down with little rocks. So I'm just going to follow along on each side of it and add some more rocks here and there, just to give it a nice thick border so it doesn't look just like, oh, just some plain little rocks going around like that. So you can do whatever you want. This is what I'm going to go ahead and continue doing. Okay, so just one more time, I'm explaining that I am using the E6000 glue, but I'm also using my hot glue gun, and the reason that I'm using the hot glue gun is to give me an instant bond. The hot glue gun will stick this on here, but it's not going to be very permanent. It'll probably just chip off very easily because we're using metal here, and sometimes glue from your glue gun doesn't get along with metal. It just comes apart. Okay, but the reason that I'm using it is for the video purpose, and I want everything to stick on here right away, and the E6000 is going to need some time to cure to actually create a bond, so you want to use it as the directions tell you. And I know a lot of you know this little thing that we do when we do these videos, these craft videos, and we use the glue gun and in combination with whatever glue we're using. But there's people that don't know. You might be asking, well, why are you using two glues? Why don't you just use one? Well, it's for the purpose of the video to use the glue gun and get a quick bond so that you can see the idea of what we're trying to create here. Okay, so I'm just going to continue filling it. That didn't take me very long to do the spiral, by the way. These little pebbles, though, these little white pebbles, do get a lot of that little white powder, and you get them all over your fingers, so just be prepared. Get a little dryness there, so have some cream for your hands maybe before you start doing this. Might help so that the powder doesn't stick too much on you. Okay, so I'm holding it here where you can see it, what I'm doing. So now I'm going to continue adding little pebbles. I'm going to try and make it so that it's not so like, oh, evenly, you know, the width is not so even. I kind of don't mind if maybe I go off a little bit, you know, off to the side a little bit, make a little bit of a rounded part here, or lumpy parts, if you will. I want it to look a little bit more like natural. I know that's not really natural to put, you know, you're not going to find this out in nature, but that's just kind of what I'm trying to describe, that I don't want it to be like, you know, patterned on there. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to fill it in some more so you get the idea of what I'm doing here. Okay, so just a few minutes later, I actually got a little bit really calm doing this, and I probably could have gone ahead and just covered the whole thing. It isn't such a bad, you know, thing to sit here and actually do that. So if you're looking for something that's very relaxing, take your time and fill it all up. And actually adding all these stones on here has actually given this bucket, little pail, this little vase, whatever it is, it's actually given it some weight. So I'm not too concerned now that it's going to topple over so easily, but I'm still going to put some little rocks in there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. And you guys, I feel like I want to put more. I was really enjoying it. I had to stop myself because otherwise I'd spend more time doing it, and I need to do some other things like dinner. So anyway, I'm going to put some rocks in there. Just going to throw the whole bag that I just opened in there. And then I'm going to take my plate here, and I'm going to add E6000 since I already know that it fits right in the rim here, or you can put it right on the rim of the vase, or this little indentation. That's not the rim, but anyway, I'm going to add some glue in there, some E6000, in different little spots here. Put some on here as well. I'm going to use my hot glue gun for the other spots. Okay, so then I can just take this little plate, put it upside down. Let's turn this over. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that it is inside of there, and it is. Okay, so now I'm tempted to maybe even put some little stones just going down, finishing this little edge here, and getting some on the edge of the little plate. But there we go. I've got the little rocks in there. That'll definitely weigh it down. There we go, nice and heavy. So now I want to put this over to the side, and I want to turn this bowl, my basin, if you will, for my little bird bath. I want to put some of these stones on here as well, but I don't think I'm going to follow a spiral or anything like that. I think I'm just going to, I want to put some on the edge here for sure, and then maybe I'll just sprinkle some here and there, and I'll see like where it actually aligns when I finally put it on here, so that wherever this is, you know, ends right here, maybe I'll kind of work a little bit, you know, onto here a little bit, just maybe spread them out a little bit more, maybe start a little bit tight and then kind of spread out a little bit more. But I'll show you what pattern I decided to do. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and start putting some on the edge here. I kind of want to put some on the inside rim as well, but first I'm going to do the bottom part, and I'm going to put it together, and then I'll see about doing the top, you know, once I turn it around. Okay, so I'll be back. I'm going to go ahead and get started on this, add some of the pebbles, and then we're going to go ahead and put it on here. Alright everyone, so I have been adding more of these stones. Like I said, I didn't put them on the edge like I was thinking. I decided to start off here and then just kind of build like a heavy pattern here, and then just kind of disperse it as I was going around it, and then I'm going to come around to this point. So that's how I'm decorating it. You can obviously put the stones, if you're going to decide to put stones on yours, or any type of mosaic pieces of tile or anything like that on yours. You can decide your own pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get this pattern to somehow pop out near where this cluster is, to kind of make it look like, you know, that's where it just kind of kept on going. So I'm just going to align it, and I'm going to look at it from under here. So what I need to do now is I need to put some glue on the edge here. I want to put lots of it here, make it nice and thick, so that when I put this on there, it actually adheres to the bottom part, because there's a little bit of a lip here. So I feel like I need a thick glue there. So let me put some E6000 first. And actually, when I've been putting the stones, I started off with the stones on the bowl. The bowl is plastic. So I started off with the stones, adding E6000 and then my glue gun on them, just like I was doing the ones on this metal can. But then I just started using just my glue gun to try and just kind of speed up things a little bit. And because it's plastic, I feel like it'll stick to it. It's not going to be permanent, obviously, because it's rock. So you do want to use the E6000. But just for my own sake of getting it done a little bit faster, it's getting late, I just started using my glue gun. So I'm hoping none of these little stones will pop off while I'm doing this, but it could happen. And I forgot I wanted to put a nice glob of glue here in the middle. Hoping that'll kind of catch also. Let's see, a couple of globs here, not too thick because, or not too much, because it's going to be a lot of like air going through there, since it's going to get sealed. So lots of this. Okay, let me try to get this to align again. And I'm going to turn it upside down, which is what I should have done from the very beginning. Because, there we go. That's okay. That's okay, because you know what? I'm going to use that smearing of glue to put some more stones right there. And I'm going to lift this up and put my glue gun there. Because, let's see. The seal of glue there. I feel like that's not going to get like seamed too well because it's going to be like underneath. Okay, so to continue the pattern, I'm going to put some little rocks right here, just kind of make them go into that little pattern that I started, and then I'm going to fill in a little bit more along here because I really like the way the stones look on it, like a little bit fuller, like right here. And not only that, but it gives this all some weight. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find some that have a nice little flatness to them. So I'm going to stick these all right here where I have all this glue that got smeared and just kind of covered a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, and I am going to, I'm adding a few more little stones here, but I'm going to let this dry before I try to turn it over because the glue is still very wet. The hot glue will obviously dry, but I don't want to like snap it and have this come apart. So I'm going to let this dry really well, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to continue filling what I wanted to do over here. Then I can turn it over, and then I might want to go ahead and do a little bit on the rim of our basin, our bowl here. And then we're going to do a cute little arrangements. We're going to move this into here, but add some of these little rocks in here. But what I want to do with the rocks that are going to go in here and also inside of the basin, I want to go ahead and rinse them off because they do have like all this little white powder on them. So I want to make sure that I, rinse as much of that as I can off. And basically these are going to be in the water, so I'm not going to worry about them getting dry. I just want to rinse off as much of the powder as I can. So I think I'm going to do like 3 bags for now, and that means I have used, well, about 6 bags, and I opened one and I started this, and then I put the rest of them in there, and this is a second bag that I've opened to do more filling here and here. And so I've got 2 more bags that I'm going to open. So that means I'm going to use four bags, but I do have, like I said, about 6. So if I wanted to use these, I can, okay? But that's going to be up to you. Obviously, how big of a basin you have for your bird bath, and how many little rocks, and if you're even going to need to put some in there. The only reason that I'm putting them in there is so that my basin is not so deep, because of the concern that I had, whether it was going to be too deep for the little birds. Okay, so I'll be back once I get this more rocks in here. I can turn it over and you can see what I've done. Alright everyone, here is the decorated bird bath. I have some more things that I want to put on it, but here's where I was spiraling downward right here, and it came all the way around to the front, made a little cluster of stones down here, and then up here where it's coming up, I kind of had it come up the bowl on the side here. This is heavy. You see that? Had it come up on the side of the bowl here, kind of thick, and then just kind of spread it out a little bit and work my way upward all the way around to right about here. And then just put some little stones there, put some here, here, and here, just to kind of create like a little area where they can perch on these little rocks if they want to stand here on the sides. And I'm hoping that there's going to actually be birds doing that. But anyway, that's what I've done. Okay, so now in here I want to put some rocks, and I've gone ahead and I've rinsed these off to make sure I get all that little powdery stuff off of them, because, you know, I want the little birds drinking the water. I don't want to have it be all dusty, even if it's probably just from the rocks. Okay, so I'm just going to put all those in there, and they're wet, but that's okay because I'm going to put water in there and just spread them out, and that gives it a nice height in there so that it won't be deep. Now, I had the little arrangement in these little white cups. Let me put it over here. I had it in here, and remember I told you that I was going to reuse that. So I'm going to put it inside of my little container. I'm not going to glue it down because I actually want to go ahead and put an actual little plant in there, a little succulent in there. So I'm not going to glue this in there. I'm just going to put that in there just for looks for now so that you can see what it would look like with a little plant. Or like I said, I could actually put some bird seeds in here. Now let's put this. Okay, so I've got all this white on my hands, and I'm not even going to show you my nails. They are horrible. Not that they're ever nice, but they're worse than ever. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use this up here in the middle. Just kind of nestle it in. I'm actually going to move some of these rocks so it doesn't move around. And just nestle it in there. I think that looks really cute. And I had bought these little faux moss stones. I could put them in there, but I'm kind of worried now that if I do use these, that the birds might peck on them, and because they're made of styrofoam, I don't think I want to use this, you know, in here. But it looks really pretty if I was to put it, or if you actually had like some bigger stones, like river rocks that you wanted to put in there, that would look really pretty. Okay, another alternative to putting this little pot in there, which I think is really cute because I can just see some little birds kind of perching themselves on the handles here, maybe even on top of an actual plant here. I think that would look really cute. But I also have this little turtle, and I don't know, I have this thing for turtles lately, and so I bought this. Let me take the tag off of it. Okay, so here we go. I have this little turtle. It's got a little faux succulent on it, but it would be cute to replace that also with a real one. But something like that would also look really pretty inside of the fountain, and I think it looks really nice and it contrasts really well with the black and white, the turquoise here. I kind of want, let's see. Oh, this is the part that I want to be the front, right here. So I like that. I like how this comes up right here. And it looks really pretty to me, it does. So I'm really happy and I'm really satisfied with the way that this came out. Alright everyone, this is my completed bird bath. I'm really happy with it. I really like the way that it looks, and I hope that you at least got inspired to create a little bird bath for your outdoors, or maybe you just want to put it inside and put a little faux bird, maybe make it a little bit smaller and put an actual plant, maybe something that kind of drips out of it would be really pretty. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up and leave a nice comment down below and let me know what you think of my project. Will you be doing something similar? And if you have any ideas that you want to go ahead and give me so that I may do another video in the future. Alright everyone, thank you very much for everyone who has been subscribing. If you haven't already done so, please hit that red subscription button, and then after that hit the notification bell so that you get notified of when I put up my videos, which is twice a week. So make sure you share your social medias, be kind and respect each other, and as always, enjoy.